Okay, guys, this is going to be my build breakdown on my 2019 Chevy Colorado AEV Bison Edition. So for starters, we have the AEV conversions front bumper that comes with the truck when you get the Bison package. I have the Nightlight Switch Pros, which can go from amber and white. The Rough Country Pods, this one is busted because I actually use my truck. Not saying those who don't have an issue, but when you actually use it off-road, shit happens. The Rough Country 20-inch bar, it's just the basic model, not the S Pro line. I have it's Type S amber fog lights for the snow and fog, of course. So I've wanted these lights since I actually got the truck, and my original halos actually went out, so I was able to be grateful enough to get to purchase these out of force instead of spite. Up there we have the CBI off-road ditch light mounts, along with another set of Rough Country pods. Up top we have a no-name light bar because I have done as much research as I can, and if you guys can tell me what it is, then I would gladly like to know, because I would want to reach out to the company and maybe do some stuff together, because it is a great light bar. The sides are a flood and the center is a straightened spot. It works really well. I've had it for about a month now, and I really can't complain. It's extremely bright, especially with having it overhead. It helps a lot. On the roof, it is a Yakima roof rack, just a basic X-frame Yakima roof rack. And that pretty much does it for lights on the front of the truck. Now let's get into the side tires and suspension. Okay, guys, now so getting into the suspension. As you can see, the truck is sitting a little bit taller than most Colorados. That is due to a 4-inch BDS lift that actually has an axle drop kit in it. So it drops down the lower control arms and the diff just to take a little bit of stress off of everything that would be so aggressive with standing up and tight. So you don't hurt things, break stuff. Sway bar, I have the level up suspension billet sway bar bushings. I actually broke 3 sets of factory ZR2 bushings, so I knew that I would really need to get something at some point to beef that up, because it had a really bad death wobble if the links weren't there. So level up actually just ended up coming out with these billet bushings as soon as I needed them. So I went ahead and fired on those immediately before they did any testing or anything. So super worth it. And underneath that BDS puck is a King 2.5 coilover on a 700 spring rate. I absolutely love these shocks. I can abuse them as much as I want to, and they handle it. And especially with that King lifetime warranty, you can't get enough of it. And those are sitting behind a 35-inch Toyo RT Open Country and some Allmax USA wheels. Yes, there is a one lug there that is not the same as the others. I was off-roading in Sand Hollow, Utah for Matt's off-road recovery games and ended up losing one. So we had to go find the nearest O'Reilly's and just pick whatever up that fit the truck. I need to find one that matches, or I need to go ahead and just spray paint it so it doesn't look like a single chrome sitting there. These wheels are actually amazing. I paid $174 a wheel for them at Tire Rack at the local supplier here, and they have been through everything. I actually did the Rubicon with these wheels, aired down to about 10 psi. Did not debead, and I scratched the shit out of them. They are super tough. I actually don't know if the company's in business anymore. I've reached out to them a couple times, and they ended up not reaching back. So I also haven't seen anything on social media from them since about August of 23. So sadly, I don't think they're around anymore. But yeah, this truck is on a pretty beefy setup for the front end for just a daily driver. Let's go check out the rear end. So making our way to this side of the truck, it's honestly, my rear end setup's pretty basic still. Factory leafs with the 4-inch BDS lift, just like the front. I have the King 2.5 piggybacks in the rear with the adjustable reservoir, just because on a truck you end up changing weight a lot, towing something. Not that I do a lot of towing with a mid-sized truck, but when you're towing things, it's going to be nice to be able to have a little stiffer setup in the rear when I need to just turn it up. Same 35-inch Toyo Open Country RTs, but up here we actually have, I don't think you guys can see it. Okay, after some adjustment, you guys can see it now. We have a RCI bed rack. I never really planned on taking this out, so I actually ended up lag bolting it to the inner of the bed on the inner line. It actually works as a really good bed stabilizer for high-speed stuff. This truck is really stable in the rear end, surprisingly, for how tall it is and how wide it is. I have had zero issues with this rack. I check all of my bolts probably about once a month or after a pretty aggressive trip, and they are never loose. I've got the Harbor Freight tool mounts right here, wrapped around my Harbor Freight shovel that me and my best friend spray painted. It's a little taggy, but it looks good. I like it. Up top, we have a Overland Vehicle Systems rooftop tent. It's just your basic two-person fold-over tent. Nothing special. I'm looking to soon get a clamshell tent. I want to try and get rid of some top heavyweight up here. You really feel this thing in this truck. It wiggles a lot on some off-camber stuff. So it's one thing I really want to amplify on and perfect on is get this truck a little more center weighted. That way I don't feel like I'm leaning over as much on the trail. I have a homemade fishing rod rack in here. As you can see, the tail end of my rod sticking out here. It just bolts to the inner side of the bed, and it's amazing. I love it. I have taken rods all the way through Northern California on trails and had zero issues of them falling out. I just take a small little bungee cord and wrap it around the handles of them, and nothing ever seems to move, so I'm not going to change anything. Let's take a look at the very back of the truck. So for the rear end, it's pretty basic. I made some custom holes in the rear bumper where AEV had theirs outlined to fit these Rough Country flush mounts. They're amazing. You can't see out of this thing in reverse because of the tint. So at night when I'm trying to back up and not run someone over, these come in handy. They also come in handy on the trail when you need light to help somebody out. And if they're the person that's in the very back, nobody can shine their lights up. So you can shine their lights back. It's amazing. And then up here we have the X-Brite USA chase light. This has 7 different modes, I believe, of flashing. What's the word I'm looking for? It does a lot of stuff. It can go solid, and it does a lot of flashes. So, and then we have a Rotopax right here that I custom made a bracket for there as well. The RCI rack is a little too short to run this on the side, so it's a little difficult to get out, but it's better to have it than to not, and that's something I will always live by. I pretty much leave this thing fully packed 90% of the time. It's pretty important. I've had a lot of scenarios where most people haven't had what they needed, and this is just on regular trips too. Most people haven't had what they needed, and I was able to help them, and that makes me feel really good to be able to help people and make sure everybody gets home safely. So that is the main reason. I have a full tool chest back here with socket sets, breaker bars, socket sets, jack. What else is back there? Extra 5 quarts of oil, diff oil, sealer, JB Weld, anything back there that can really just help somebody get home, I kind of keep there, or help myself get home, because even though this truck is a 2019, shit happens, and I kind of prepare for shit happening, because when you're not prepared for it, shit gets worse. And that is pretty much it for the back of the truck. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of my favorite things, and that is the exhaust setup. So, right off the bat, you'll notice, why is it not at the back of the truck? Why is it right here? I like it loud, okay? I know Overland guys are supposed to be mellow, and they're supposed to be chill. I like my truck loud. I'm young, and I like to have fun. So I had Silver State Off-Road cut this thing right out of the fender. It is low right now because of the flex. The frame twists, the bushings, they twist, and then it goes back to center when we're on flat ground. For those of you people that are going to tell me, it's too low, it's going to melt the paint. It's not going to melt the paint. It's just up right now, okay? So remember that. It does spit onto the fender a little bit. I will figure that out one day. But as of right now, It looks great. It is a full 3-inch system from the cats all the way back with an MBRP exhaust. It sounds pretty damn good in my opinion. I'll give you guys a clip of a cold start that I have, and it's pretty, I don't know, it turns a lot of heads. In my opinion, it's one of the best showpieces on the truck. I love it. And on showpieces, around all four corners on the fender wells, you can't see them right now, but I actually have Stinger Solutions rock lights. And if you guys want some Stinger Solution rock lights, go ahead and use White Bison 25 at checkout, and you can get 25% off. Nope, nope. Want 10% off of anything on Stinger's website for lights and off-road modifications. Go ahead and use White Bison 25 at checkout, and you'll get 10% off of any purchase. I love the brand. Pretty soon, we're going to get an LED whip for the truck bed, and it's going to look sick because more lights is always better, and you can't have too many. Okay, so to make all these lights work, I have the Auxbeam 8-gang setup, and I have it in blue. So it honestly, it is one of the most convenient things I've done so far. Having the ability to just wire everything in with positive and negative and have it set straight to a panel that I don't have to worry about running a switch to underneath the dash or up here and making it look fancy. It's here, it's clean, and it looks nice, and it saves me a shit ton of time because you guys know when you're running switches, if you're running one and you go ahead and you pull all this out and then you get it all up here and then you're drilling into up here and then it goes wrong and then you're SOL because you got to order something else. And on these new trucks, something else can be $400 and nobody has that. Well, I know I don't. But this is probably one of the most convenient things I've done. Yes, I like to put the funny stickers on there because it's funny and why not? So, but one thing that I will say, I'm probably going to need a bigger one soon because as you can see, I'm already down to one left that doesn't have anything to it. So Auxbeam, if you want to hook something up to maybe a separate panel, like a slim one to go up here, I'd be down. I don't know where I'd put it in the engine bay, but yeah. So on that, let's get to the engine.